Hello and welcome to What's Map for Cities Skylines, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. There are thousands of items on the workshop now, so finding the right one for your next city build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review some using our 5-star rating and the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture out to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. BonBon here, how you doing? Right, it's Wednesday, and so far this week we have had a DLC map with lots of resources on it and lots of trees on the roads. And then yesterday we had a new map, a vanilla map, a new creator, a moderate disaster, I think is a polite way of putting it, but there's room for improvement. And like I say, playable, so if you really wanted to have a go at that one, well, maybe you'd probably be better off playing this one, because this one is also vanilla. But it's by one of the legends of the game. You'll recognise their name absolutely immediately. Now, is this map perfect? No. There are flaws, but not many, and nothing you won't be able to deal with, nothing you won't forgive. But before we crack on and do today's map, you know what's coming up. That's right, hover over that like button. It's time to have your daily reminder. Do it now, please. That's right, hitting the like button really does support the channel and does help me out a bunch, so please do it. Thank you so much, you lovely, lovely people. Right, okay, whose map is this then? Oh, it's MrMiyagi. It's Steeltown Vanilla Map by MrMiyagi. I'm a bit disappointed that MrMiyagi hasn't put their name in the title. That's very unusual. MrMiyagi, you're slipping. There is your start square. A river runs through it. I think that may be a good name for a film, actually. And if we have a look over at the resources, splodges here and there of all the key and core resources. Specifically the ore and the fertile land in the middle of the map's quite nice. Right, what do we need? Well, it's vanilla. And there's words about a hydro dam there. And look at how many subscribers already. MrMiyagi is well loved indeed. Right, okay, let's head over to the map and have a look-see, shall we? Right, well, the roads are going to be of a high standard. The vanillaness of vanillaness, if that's a word I've just made up, the vanillaness of this map, well, it just burns through. It's almost too vanilla in some ways, but that doesn't detract from the actual playability of the map. Right, okay, first intersection, very slick. The intersections are by Arizandi, and there has been a word put in the description to credit him for these. Arizandi, one of the current legends, of the creative world. All of the current best intersections are by Arizandi. Right, okay, we'll head down towards the next item of interest, which is a bridge over the rail. Nice and smooth and gentle. And if you remember Monday's map, the bridge over the rail was quite relatively high. This is the perfect height. But it's MrMiyagi, so what do we expect? We've got an intersection here that goes back under the bridge. It goes down to a potential start location. It's not the start square, but it is at the top end of the start square. It might even put its nose into the start square. I'm not entirely sure. You'll have to go back and have a look at the initial picture. Ah, hang on. We've got a perfect bridge going on. And once again, we should be expecting a perfect bridge because of the creator. I will grumble, of course, about the trees under the bridge. Are they going to get enough daylight to be able to survive under there? I'm not sure. I'm not saying they will. I'm not saying they won't. What I'm saying is I wouldn't have put them there. There we are. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean I'm wrong. There's your start. Well, there's a potential start square. Not the start square. We're going away from the start square. So I got excited a minute there. Well, the start square. No. Past some resources there. And now to the next intersection. This intersection, very slick, very smooth, very dynamic, and just look at the slopes on these. Actually, just check this ramp here. Ready? It comes up, it slowly inclines, and then it slowly declines and goes underneath this ramp And then it slowly inclines again to meet up with the other one before decline. Now, is that one incline and decline too many? Maybe, but is it well done? Oh, yes, indeed. So, let's not moan about it. I'm not moaning about it. There are worse things ahead. And when I mean worse things ahead, I mean literally ahead. That said, as far as worse things go, that is not too bad. Did you see it? Did you see it? Let's check out here. We've got 3 lanes coming down here, 3 lanes breaking into 2 lanes. That is very nicely done indeed. And again here, 3 lanes into 2 lanes. But over here, we've got a pinch point. 3 lanes into 2 lanes, or 2 lanes to 3 lanes, we've got a pinch point. But we haven't over here. It stays very straight. Proper shoulders on there, where over here we've got more like a neck. It's easily fixed, and we're going to do that right now just to show you how easily fixed that is. There we go, just pushing out with the move it tool and pop, pop. I think it's just a junction. I'll just like get rid of the jinky jankies by moving those in to match. There we go, pops that one in, and there we go. That's what we were looking for. Minor, very, I told you, you wouldn't have a problem with the problems on this particular map. And what we'll do is we're just going to undo all of that. How about we undo all of that so it goes back to as it was. And there we go. If you prefer that version, leave it. If you prefer my version, well, you're just going to have to do a little bit of tweaking and twiddling. Here we've got some necks on the left here. We've got a little bit of neck on the left and nothing on the right. That's weird. What's going on, Miyagi? What are you doing? Are you slipping? Are you failing us? Oh, you're failing yourself. Another potential start location plopped in for us. There's a lot of these, but that's great because it just saves you building your own. Now here we've got a magic tunnel. Oh, in a canyon magic tunnel. What's going on here? We have got a little bit of underwater trickery. There you go. Underwater intersection. Not the most tidy one I've ever seen, but it's not easy to do underwater intersections, I promise you. And that is just very smart. I like the way it's all split and it all comes back together. And we've got a beautiful raised roundabout going on there. And start square, lots of room to build both sides of the roundabout there. Can't remember if those intersections on the right actually poke their noses in. If they don't, then you'll just have to expand that way, won't you? Now the rail, we're going to follow the rail back from the start square this way, and this is just slick. Look at this. The terrain dips away, the rail stays level, the terrain comes back up to the rail, and everything's so smooth. If I'm honest with you, this is one of the best rail networks I've seen in quite some time. No, I know your head's getting a bit big now, Miyagi. I know it. I can feel it swelling. But yes, this is one of the better rail networks for a long time. Here we go. It slicks across that way. This one goes out to the fog over there. But then if we come back down this route, yeah, we get one that immediately cuts off and heads down towards the start square this way and heads underneath the road there. And then the other one heads off towards the fog, which means we can start thinking about, oh, another perfect bridge. Look at him with his perfect bridges. We can start thinking about today's asset. And I tell you what, it's got a 1950s vibe. Well, in my eyes, it's a 1950s vibe. You can tell me I'm wrong. I don't care. Are you ready? All aboard the train to Assetville. And here we are, we've made it. And this one is by the king himself, KingLeno, and it's the Conoco Tower Station. I believe this is some kind of old service station, petrol station, gas station, fuel station, rest stop. I don't know. Looks like, to me, it looks like there's a shop in there. There might even be like there's a garage door at the back, probably some sort of where are we? One was a mechanical place. You break down, you get taken there, they fix your car for you. That's what I'm getting the vibe for. And like I say, it's got that 1950s vibe, almost a Fallout 4 vibe to it. Remember that old petrol's gas station? The second thing you come across. Anyway, enough of that. I digress. It's the Conoco Tower Station by KingLeno, today's beautiful asset of the day. as we go off to Themington Island for another look at this week's theme and LUT combo, which is the Deluxe theme by Yuritar with Sea's Milky Tropic. And guess who's forgotten to check what name comes? Look, I'm not going to remember to do this. So if you download this theme, remember Deluxe theme is not what will show up actually within the game. You'll have to just go into Content Manager, search Yuritar under themes, and you'll find the theme there. But yes, it's not under Deluxe theme. Darn it! Well, I keep forgetting to check. Old age. I put it down to old age. Anyway, fear. It's factoids time. Fear because fear. After the Battle of Waterloo, people were fearful to wear or grow violets because they were the favourite flower of Napoleon. Because people were like that back then. George Bernard Shaw lost his virginity at the age of 29 and found the experience so shocking that he was celibate for the next 15 years. He was obviously doing it wrong. That's all I can say on the matter. Not that I remember. Oh, crikey, those were the days. Well, we've got shipping routes, sorry. Bonbon. Your mind out of the gutter, thank you. We've got 4 shipping routes, all coming from the edge of the map. And we have one that goes slightly up the river and stops dead. There we go. And then the 4th one just comes over here. So basically, we're sorted for shipping routes. And no through traffic as well, which is quite, I don't know, I like to see the ships passing in the distance. Anyway, we got water flow. We have a lot of water flow. Two rivers become one in the old Spice Girls format, and then we have a little waterfall going on here. Ignore these 2 little detail walls here. We'll have a look at those in a moment, but it's a Miyagi special. Yeah, those of you who've seen the Miyagi map will know what's going on with those 2 walls. The river flows strongly. The force is strong with this one. And S-bends nicely and smoothly and lots of water flow out. Yeah, that's a very good river. Well done, Miyagi. You've done well with that one. Right now, let's have a look at the actual river in Technicolor. Now, there's a lot of trees quite close to the edge, like we've got that one, so just dipping its roots into the river. I don't have a problem with that. I know people think that I have a problem if there's a tree just touching the waterline. That's not the case, because trees do touch the waterline. This sort of tree wouldn't be happy actually in the water, but if you there are trees that just end up, having the banks washed away a little bit, and they end up with their toes in the water. These things happen, and I'm okay with this level that's going on here. We've got this one here is a little bit more in the water. I'm going to let that one go because it's the only one. There's another one next to it. It's dipping its toes in, but that just looks to me like a corner that's being washed away. It seems natural to me, and I'm happy with that. Some trees do obviously grow in water, and that is fine also when I see those, and if I can buy into it, I do. Now let's have a look at these walls. What are these walls about? It's the hydro dam location. If we go into the electricity, we'll place a dam down, because why not? That's what it's all about, isn't it? Let's play the game a little bit. There we go, the dam is in place, and then if we come settle down over here, we're going to see the dam in action, and we'll just make sure we don't get any flooding upstream once the dam has settled. Let's speed this thing up using the magic of video editing. Yes, you won't get the game to run quite this fast yourself, I promise you, but yeah, using the magic of video editing, we can speed that along there, and that is absolutely fine. I have no problems with that at all, and the water flow is perfectly good afterwards as well. So yes, good work again there, thank you very much. We'll leave it in place, we won't do any flooding downstream. Now, the hills, if I'm honest with you, yesterday's hills were, shall we just say, interesting. These ones are just a bit, well, I'm going to say disinteresting. They're a bit mundane. I'm not buying into the shape of them as a realistic network of hills. They look like they've been made with one of the generic brushes that come, and without too much thought or foresight, but they're fine. We've got a lot of resources painted in patches, so you can clearly see, there we go, we'll put that setting on there. You can actually clearly see, though, without having to go into the resource menu, where all the good stuff is. Okay, and no field painting as well, which is also refreshing to see. I think you're wrong there, Miyagi. I think you should be painting fields for a living. But no, that's absolutely fine. No problem there. Beaches. We haven't had a look at the beaches. First of all, there is no essential lighthouse. I'm very, very disappointed. The beaches are very vanilla. It's a vanilla map, but these are very vanilla. Down here, it does narrow up a little bit too tight, and in fact, the sea is just reaching the grass. And while that happens again in real life, I feel in this particular map it probably should be a little bit more beach there. Anyway, let's vote this thing up. It's your chance to vote. Is this a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count because we use it at the end of the month towards the viewer's choice top 10 maps for the month. So make sure you get your vote in place and we'll be using that later on. Right, let me settle down and find a thumbnail location. Something like that is quite nice and we'll mark it up. Aesthetically, it's almost good enough to be maybe a 4-star, and some vanilla maps do pop a 4th star. This one, no, this one's just a 3 stars for aesthetics. Detailing, pretty good, can't grumble. There's 1 or 2 things I can grumble about, minor stuff though, only enough to lose the 5th star. It's a very strong 4-star for detail. Gameplay potential, it's all there, isn't it? It's just in place, it's ready to go, it's ready to roll. Lots of everything that you're going to need and no problems, no issues with it whatsoever. So therefore, it gets 5 stars for gameplay potential. But it's MrMiyagi, so I would expect no less. Right, okay, well, that's about it. I've nothing more I can do apart from say, oh, alright then, you can have the goddamn BonBonB seal of approval. Go on, you can have it. I'll let you have it. Yes. It's got everything that you need. It just isn't the prettiest map. And that's it. Anyway, thanks for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Join me tomorrow for another map in the What Map series. And join me tonight for a bit of map making. There's an old map you can vote on screen now. It's got a poll on it. Go and have a little vote on that one if you fancy just leaving your mark on a map forever. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. And of course, I've been BonBonB and you've been, well, you know it, don't you? Very, very welcome.